I have had the most delightful career in agriculture today. I cannot think of a profession that is more rewarding, that is filled with people who are more impressive, both personally and professionally. And it was my pleasure to become CEO of Queensland Farmers Federation at 23. As much by surprise to me as it was to my peers and certainly my family. But that's the nature of agriculture. You take a leap of faith into this profession and you grow and you learn and you are surrounded by incredible people who will guide you through the process. I had a wonderful time at New South Wales Farmers, and it is now my absolute pleasure and privilege to be CEO of Foodbank Australia, because it's as much about celebrating our farmers as lifting them up when they need to be lifted. As was mentioned, we have 4 million Australians who at some point throughout the year are food insecure. And I know that you have definitions around food insecurity as you go through your Archibull learning, but for us, in plain English, it's about not having certainty about where your next meal comes from. And when it comes to an Australian child today, they are more likely to be food insecure than an adult. In fact, 1 in 5 Australian children in the last 12 months experienced food insecurity. That is a shameful statistic, and as a mother, it is something I'm determined to do something about. We are so proud of the role that we play working with farmers to source wonderful fresh produce that may not look quite right, but it's still delicious, it's still nutritious. We call it perfectly imperfect. We know that 25% of vegetables never leave the farm gate. We know how valuable those vegetables are to Australian children. We know how valuable they are to vulnerable Australians in our communities. And we work really hard with farmers, with peak bodies, with growers, with food and grocery manufacturers, with retailers as well, to rescue those food and grocery items and give them to people who need a hand up. Not a handout, but a hand up. Because most people in Australia who are food insecure aren't food insecure year round. At some point throughout the year, something's happened in their world, and it might be something really simple. It might be an unexpected medical incident in the family. It might be your car breaking down on the way to work and missing a shift at work and missing a rental payment. It's everyday stuff that happens to everyday people. And we distribute our food and groceries through 2,600 charities across the country, including Father Chris Riley's Youth Off the Streets. And we're really, I've said proud a lot, but we're incredibly proud to provide that service, because we know we have a $20 billion food waste problem in this country, yet 4 million Australians are going hungry. So if we can solve that food waste problem and start working on this significant hunger problem, boy, have we got a great opportunity and a bright future for agriculture and for all of Australia. And the last sobering statistic I want to leave you with around rural and regional Australia is this. You might be thinking food insecurity is something that happens to homeless people living on the streets, and it does, but it also happens to people living on your street. And when you talk about rural and regional Australia, they are 33% more likely to be food insecure than their metro counterparts. So if you think that everything's okay in rural and regional Australia when it comes to food insecurity, despite us growing this gorgeous fresh produce and wonderful grains and pulses, we need to think again, and we need to get really clever about how we support those communities in need. So congratulations, Lynn. Congratulations to all our amazing young farm leaders who are doing an outstanding job, not only today, but in terms of lifting the profile of agriculture and making other young Australians really excited about the role that you can play in creating a brighter future for Australia.